So we are back here with another video, man. I mean, I know it's been close to about 2 weeks here. You guys know how the holidays are, though, man. You get to spend time with some family, it gets a little busy, and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, we're here for a video today, man, and we really need to talk about this. So, has DBG seen the light? Well, some of his opinions that he's been dropping lately, I'm kind of actually in agreement with. But I don't really know if it's fair to completely flip-flop yet again where your stance is with things. So anyway, let's just kind of get into it. We of course are talking about the whole video that he just dropped where season 3 2K26 is in the best place my team has ever been, all this and that. So let's just kind of start off with the fact that earlier in the year he was comparing 2K26 to other years and trying to show how much better it used to be. And now he's doing the complete opposite. He's comparing this year to other years and saying what I have been saying the entire year, how much better reward cards and stuff are this year in comparison to prior years. It's almost just like kind of the whole vibe I'm getting from this is it's amazing when you actually play the game what you can, how much fun you can have. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of the opinions earlier in the year were sticker shock as well as not playing the game, so not having a fair opinion. I think there was a lot of both of those things going on. But now we're at a stage where DBG is pretty much completely agreeing with all of the things that I have said all year, which is really, really interesting, man. And I don't know, I almost am kind of getting the vibe that he almost doesn't have an opinion of his own, and now he's kind of trying to preach that the game is really good because, a lot of new Christmas players just came in, views are up a little bit. Um, and it may honestly be a case where his opinions are kind of somewhere in the middle with the game every year, but now he's kind of preaching that it's very rewarding. There's a lot of, great budget cards, which there has been all year, by the way. But now he's really preaching that because there's all these new players. He doesn't want to drive any of these new players off the game because new players are a little bit more fragile, especially little kids and stuff. If they start seeing negativity and everything, they're just going to go play Fortnite. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, that could be what's going on. Other than that, I don't really have an explanation for this. I really don't. But anyway, let's continue on to the next point. Yeah, again, comparison of past cards, which is something he has been doing all year, but again, his opinion completely flip-flopped. Uh, Emerald Michael Jordan. Okay, he talked about Emerald Michael Jordan from NBA 2K21, my team, saying that it would have been complained about heavily at the time, which I kind of just found that funny because that's what I've been doing all year, is looking back at cards and saying, yes, they would have been complained about very heavily at the time, which is just facts. Because, I mean, we got people ranting and raving about a free diamond Kristaps that isn't even really that bad. He has one flaw, which is his speed. He's more than usable as long as you're not playing King of the Court. And we just had everyone so upset about that. And yeah, back in the day, what we were getting sapphires and emeralds when there was, a pink diamond or an opal Kristaps in packs, and then we'd get a free emerald one. And people were satisfied with that. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's very, very interesting. And some of these other comparisons between these past games, we're going to talk about that a little bit because there was some kind of new points that were kind of brought up that I thought were very interesting in this video. But let's just continue on here. And then this was really funny as well. He talked about, I don't know if it was Emerald Michael Jordan or if it was, some of those Tis the Season cards from 2K21. He said that they were so heavily complained about that 2K never gave them to us again. Like, bruh. This is what we have been saying all year, and you are one of the leaders of the group that spearheads complaints that get to the level where 2K sees it and then you're the main culprit in this. You're going to call out other people for complaining about cars and then they never return, or game modes, or different things that we've never seen before, such as the trophy case. And then you are going to blame other people for doing this? No, this has been all you. Like, let's just be real, man. Let's just keep it a buck here. This is not something that you can blame other people for when you've done it more than anybody else yourself. I mean, I'm just trying to keep it real. I'm glad that DBG is at the standpoint he is at now with this game. His viewers clearly aren't. And I mean, that's not a surprise because we, again, have another complete flip flop from him. So you can't expect your viewers to flip flop their opinion as well. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Then he looks at triple threat online rewards, vault rewards, looks at how horrible they are, which again was something we did way earlier in the year when people were complaining so heavily about the season 2 game mode rewards, which, like, Pink Diamond Mitch Richmond blows any TT vault reward or any ball drop reward that we had at this time of the year a month later in past 2Ks. So that's a point that we've been trying to hammer home, and he kind of, talked about that point a little bit as well. And then he talks about packs in 2K22, which the thing with packs is specifically in 2K22, right? Is we had the best of my team packs in 2K22. Let's go ahead and look at these odds here. We've got a sub 1 at a Galaxy Opal and a sub 1 at a Dark Matter. We have a 2.3% chance at a Pink Diamond. Now, the odds for each specific tier in 2K22 for these best of my team packs were exactly the same. But here's where it differs a little bit. Pink Diamonds were the highest tier at this point in 2K22. Well, that's not correct, actually. There was 2 Galaxy Opals. I think it was like Giannis and LeBron, who were, of course, still a sub 2 or a sub 1 or however they chose to display it at that time. But basically, the highest tier was the Pink Diamonds were equivalent to Opals now. And the odds for Pink Diamonds then were about the exact same, like 2.3% chance. So you felt like you had a chance if you opened up a couple. I think I opened up, I want to say it was 2, maybe 3 10-pack boxes and pulled a couple really good Pink Diamonds. I pulled like Pink Diamond Dr. J, Pink Diamond Giannis, who I was happy with even though it wasn't the Opal. And it really turned out well for me, man. But now packs, especially like these best of my team packs, just seem hopeless because no one's getting excited for a Pink Diamond anymore because we have Opals and Dark Matters in the game, and Opals and Dark Matters are both a sub 1%. So it is a little bit different. It definitely is a little bit different. If you guys are going to spend money on this game right now, I would highly, highly recommend this Hidden Gem Equal Chance. Like if you got like $100 PlayStation gift card. I know a lot of people have probably already spent their, Christmas gifts and whatever the case may be, but I think that this is maybe the best value thing all year because you're getting a Dark Matter, Hidden Gem. Half of them are pretty good. I mean, all of them are going to be usable, and as long as it's not a King of the Court setting, and half of them are usable, like even at a competitive level. So I think that this Hoth box right here is pretty good value, and that is what I would recommend spending your money on if I was you guys. But anyway, let's continue. I just kind of wanted to bring that up because everyone, including DBG in this video, continues to look at packs as exactly the same from year to year. But I think that the rewards, the amount of MT you're making, way better this year than 2K22. But I will admit the packs were better in 2K22. The odds were better. There were consistently packs where the highest tier was not a sub 1 or a sub 2. And like even like those, whatever those Tuesday packs we were getting, I don't remember what those were called, but I can picture them in my head. The Pink Diamond, which is the highest tier, was like a 5% chance. So that was a major, major W because if you open up a 10-pack box, you pretty much have a 50-50 shot of pulling a Pink Diamond. And the Pink Diamonds were way cheaper. They were like, I remember like I pulled a Moments, Kevin Durant, and a NBA 75 because they had that whole thing that year. Pink Diamond Ray Allen. And I think that video is actually on my channel. That'd be a blast from the past if you guys want to check that out. But anyway, pulled both those cards. They were both just worth like just over 100K, which was completely understandable because of how the odds were and everything. So yeah, packs were a lot better in 2K22. I mean, we just need to be real with that. Packs right now are not as good as they were. back in 2K22 specifically. If my memory serves me correctly, though, besides like the boosted packs that we got in 2K23 from when people were getting banned for MT buying for like 2 weeks or however long that was, we got some packs that were 10% at Opals, which were the highest tier, but they did some non-auctionable bullshit with those, so it really didn't matter. But anyway, I think that besides those couple drops in 2K23 and then 2K22, I think 2K21 and then most of 2K23 as well as 24 and 25, the pack odds have been pretty similar to what we are seeing now. And then in 2K20, it just felt like they were a lot better as well. Maybe kind of on a similar playing field to how they were in 2K22. So anyway, that is just because I want all of the information to be out there for you guys. That is how packs were in all of these years. So are packs the worst that they've ever been? No, but there is times that they have been better. I mean, there for sure is. So, and it does feel a little bit troll that, with the odds and these tis the season packs, the odds are the way that they are because they know that people are going to be going crazy with packs, which they have been. The bid sniping and everything on the auction house has been absolutely absurd. I've already, made hundreds of thousands of MT and opened up a bunch of packs. Haven't pulled anything, which I'm not surprised again with how the odds are. But yeah, let's continue. He continues to say this is the best festival for the time that we have ever had. I'm not really too sure about this one, man. I just with how this is, you need to win. You need to either pull 3 gold pieces or win 3 games to get an amethyst piece. And even with an amethyst piece, you can't really get anything. You're kind of looking at diamond pieces or higher to even get anything that's worthwhile. Like none of these things for amethyst pieces are good at all. And diamond pieces are not like that easy to get. Like they're not flying out of packs or anything. This Jabari Smith is a really, really good card, but I don't know. I think some of the festivals at the end of last year were a lot better, especially with there being an MT method with the badges and everything, and also just quick selling the gold pieces and all of that stuff, man. But anyway, I think that a lot of the events at the end of last year were better than this current event. So I think he's gassing that up a little bit for sure. More variety in budget cards now. I mean, there has been all year. Like he keeps saying with all these points, he makes sure to say at the end of it in December so that we know that he's talking about December. But a lot of these points that he's making have been the case all year long. Like okay, there hasn't been as much free content the rest of the year. Like I know that DBG and some other people really love all these free diamonds and free moments cards, and I don't have a problem with them at all. But we didn't see that earlier in the year. But a lot of these other points, these have been the case all year long, and I've been advocating for them. But anyway, yeah. Uh, argues that the gap between budget and paid is the smallest that it's ever been. I completely agree with this. And some people obviously don't, because a lot of people, especially at the beginning of the year, were saying that it is impossible this year, like more than ever, to compete, no money spent, and it's easier. I mean, it just is. It has been all year long. Like we did, looking back at 2K21, like DBG was talking about, we were getting emeralds and sapphires as our free cards when we had pink diamonds and opals and packs. And that is just not a thing anymore. Now we're getting amethyst diamonds, even pink diamonds for free. And the top tier is dark matter and opal, and there's not really anyone that has dark matters yet. You know what I'm saying? Unless they open up the Hoff box, and a lot of people, aren't going to run into many full teams of opals or anything crazy like that. So, yeah, I really think that the gap between no money spent players and money spent players is the smallest it's ever been, which is something that I have been preaching all year. It is easy to have success in this game, no money spent, no doubt. So I'm glad that he, highlighted that point. You know what I'm saying? Because I really have been trying to preach that all year long, and people have been calling me crazy. Some people, are with me, which I appreciate y'all for real, man. But yeah, so I do completely agree with that point for sure. And then yeah, people continuing to say my team is at its lowest point. To be fair though, like come on, DBG, you've been saying that all year long before December, which you're trying to, kind of say that, oh, now it's good in December. But I mean, you've been saying that all year long, that my team is at its lowest point. And I mean, maybe you've been saying 2K25 is worse, whatever, which it definitely was. But we can't, turn around on everybody, especially, and then he also talks about, a lot of people are saying, oh, my team's in its worst spot right now, or it's at its lowest point. And I mean, didn't you literally have like 3 or 4 videos before December when you titled them "My Team Just Hit a New Low"? Like 3 or 4. To me, what that means as the title is that my team is at its lowest point. Excuse me. Like, let's just be real. That is what that title means. And then you're going to go at people for saying that. I mean, there's a lot of times where his titles, contradict what he actually says and contradict, points that he's making now, which isn't a surprise with the complete flip-flop that we were saying. But anyway, let's go ahead. We haven't done this in a while. We are going to look at some of the comments on this video because why not, man? It's Christmas. We're almost in the new year. Let's just keep the vibes rolling. Let's see what some of these people have to say. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you have not already, man. We're almost at 1,000,000. It'd be nice to hit that mark in January. I'm going to try and keep the grind going hard in January. And also leave a like on the video before you take off because that, helps my videos hit the algorithm, helps them reach some new viewers and everything, which in turn just really helps me out and helps you guys out because, the more that the channel grows, the more people there are to interact with here. And I feel like this is a good place to interact, man, because I'm always going to reply to your guys' comments. A lot of you guys, have some good things to say. I appreciate all you guys that always comment. But yeah, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Anyway, let's look at some of these comments on the video. People continuing to complain about no TTO and clutch time. I think that's very valid. No TTO and clutch time sucks. I have actually been having a lot of fun on Triple Threat Online on my team mobile, but I will admit their rewards suck, but it's just fun to play. We really need to see if NBA 2K27 brings back Clutch Time Online and Triple Threat Online and does away with Park, or maybe they could even just keep it, because I know that there's like a few people out there that like it or whatever, but if they could bring back Triple Threat Online, as well as Clutch Time, bring back the ball drop after every game, all that kind of stuff, I think that people would be really excited. That would bring in a lot of new players, which will not even, and, old players that want to come back, which, that is something that they would probably like. So I would recommend doing that if I, 2K. I feel like that'd be W. Someone said your mood changes are diabolical. Definitely. I mean, no question. It's actually pretty crazy. Like I said earlier in the video, I really think that it might not even be the genuine opinion. I might, I kind of think that maybe it's, with all the content he's been dropping and then the mood change, I think it has a lot to do with new players coming in. I really, truly do. Let me know what you guys think. But let's see here. Looking back at the previous 2Ks, honestly, remember those December months being okay, but wow, they really were just packs with not much free grindable content. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people look back and glorify these old games, which is just, I mean, that's something that's been happening all year. We've been looking back all year, and a lot of people just remember everything with rose-tinted glasses. That's basically what that guy's saying, and that is completely true. No doubt about it, man. A bunch of people asking for Kobe back, which, I mean, that's not really 2K's choice. You can't put that on 2K, you know what I'm saying? Like, they would have Kobe in the game if they could. Okay, let's talk about this really quick. So the whole DBG's gassing of budget cards, I understand people clowning him for it. Like, I kind of do, because yes, we do need to have content around budget cards for newer players, for there's something in my throat, I apologize. For casual players, we do need to have that type of content because it's really important for people to know that there is cards that you can compete with if you're good at the game and you're just kind of a casual. Like, you can use like Amethyst, Bub Carrington, Diamond, Spencer Dinwiddie. Like, there's a bunch of good budget options at every position, and I like that he preaches that. I do, because that's the whole inclusivity thing and everything. But him using cards like that when he could be using like top tier cards with him being a content creator and everything, I don't really get that. I never really have. Because the whole fun in this game to me is I think DBG is someone who just has fun playing this game. To me, the fun in this game is upgrading your squad and getting those top tier cards, even if they're not meta or they're not. Like I was even just thinking about, I was contemplating a little bit ago. I just spent like 300K on packs. I was like, maybe I'll buy a Wild Gems Darren Williams or a Wild Gems Steven. Like I know they're not going to be comp or they're not going to compete in showdown or whatever, but I would have fun using a card like that in breakout or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I've always been a higher tier card hunter, and I think that most people are, and that is kind of the fun that I get out of this game, to be honest. I don't really have fun using budget cards, so, and I think a lot of people are on the same wavelength. That's why we kind of have people going at DBG. But anyway, we had that kind of whole thing with Kerr and everything, and I kind of get it from both sides. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of just what I'm trying to get at with that. Let's see. What else do we got here? You can't say on the old 2Ks that there were just packs, and then say in 2K26 that there are great budget cards in packs. The budget cards on the old 2Ks were way better, and you no, that the hell they weren't. What are we talking about? The budget cards weren't even close to as good in past 2Ks. I don't know. Let's get the rose tinted glasses off. And he's got, the way that he's typing and then a picture of, like an edited picture of Kobe and stuff. Like, this sounds to me like a teenager. Like, let's just, keep it a buck. A teenager that cannot get the rose tinted glasses off because he remembers having so much fun playing during COVID and stuff, which that's great, but let's come at this from a factual standpoint. You know what I'm saying, man? Like budget cards were not even close, not even ever as close to as good as they are in today's day and age. They just weren't. Um, oh, and I think that yeah, one thing with that point as well is I think that some people look back at one specific card, like Ruby Marcus Smart, for example, and then just think, oh, he's way better than any budget card we have now. Well, on day one this year, it was possible to get an Amethyst Marcus Smart that was a hidden gem that is pretty much the same card as that Ruby from 2K22. What it is there was like one or two budget cards every month that everybody loved, so everybody looks back at those specific cards. And now we are getting one or two budget cards like literally nearly every day at this point, like on average, because we'll get like four or five in every pack drop. There's free ones dropping all the time. So a lot of people, there was just one or two every once in a while. So people are looking back with their rose tinted glasses on at those one or two specific cards we got every month that were amazing for budget. And now we're getting a bunch of them. So yeah, it is watered down a little bit, but we can't, you guys know what I'm saying. Like it kind of causes it to where people look back at those specific cards. There's not a whole lot of that happening this year because there is hundreds of budget cards. That is why. So that's kind of a lot of what is happening with that too. I think haven't played my team in 2 years and I don't miss it one bit. I'll stick to my player playing rec. Ew. And I don't know why people feel the need to comment these things. Like nobody cares that you're playing my career. I promise you. Nobody cares that you're playing Ghosts of Yotai. Nobody cares that you're playing you're back on GTA. Like come on, we don't need to comment these things. Like good for you. I'm glad that you're having fun, but I don't know you. I don't care what you're playing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to, be rude or anything. Like I'm glad that these people are having fun, but like why does there need to be five or six people on every video commenting that they're playing something different? Never understood that. Yeah, it's the Zens. There is a huge issue with cheating this year. That is something that they really do need to address. We need a whole new revamp of the game modes next year. If they don't do it, it's going to be disappointing. We need, you know, breakouts all right, especially the triple threat only boards. Salary cap's okay, I guess. Domination's the same as it always has been, and I know that some people enjoy it. All-star team up, the rewards are horrible. We need better rewards in this mode. Park rewards are not worth it for the time that you put in. We need Showdown could probably stay the same because I think that Showdown is objectively better than Unlimited ever was. Breakout can probably stay the same. We need Triple Threat Online back. We need Clutch Time Online back. And then they need to do something about all these people that are zenning because it is getting really it's getting bad. It's getting really really bad, and we need some perma bans going out, and we need them to kind of lock down on that a little bit more. Um, how is a game mode without any meaningful rewards to play for in a great spot? Just terrible take. I mean, the rewards are better than they've ever been. So what do you truly want? You know, this is another situation that we've talked about that some people's expectations are just way too high. They just are. Be cautiously optimistic. Don't be, you know, throw all your hope at this game because you're going to be let down every time. It gets back to that point. The cars were worse, but the release of the cars had better pacing. The pacing this year, this comes from somebody who didn't play into because the pacing this year is by far the best it's ever been. Yes, we have higher tiers earlier, but people get blinded by the tiers. The pacing, just as Dbg said in his video, there has not been any changed releases. There's no changed animations. The pacing this year is the best it's ever been, and it's not even close. Yes, I get it. We have Dark Matters on Christmas. But that is fine if they're doing it in the way that they are doing it. The pacing is insanely good. Like 2K22, 21, the pacing was way too quick. It was. And we'll see what they do in January, but I would because January is a time where a lot of the, you know, I don't want to use this term because it's what everyone uses, but blow their load early. I guess I'll just use it. That is usually when it happens. So January is an important time for my team, but I don't think they're going to mess it up. I think if they keep it, you know, how they have it now and keep it kind of on the same blueprint as 2K25, which is kind of what they're doing, it's way better. But a lot of like the skeleton of the game mode is similar to 2K25. The blueprint is the same, but there's a lot that is better. I think if they keep it kind of on the same track, they're not going to do that, and the pacing will continue to be amazing. Let's see here. This got to be rage bait. No, the game is great if you're not a spoiled brat. I like that one. Uh, let's see if we got any other good ones here. You need to leave content creation. I don't agree with that. I mean, come on. I got to give DB some credit. The amount of content that he's been pumping out over this holiday season is absurd. Say what you want about the flip-flopping of opinions, but the amount of content he's put out and helpful content to new players is impressive. And it reminds me of old DBG, which is a W. I'm not going to, you know, that's a W. Uh, some people talking about how there's a lot of really good budget. Yeah, I mean there is. Okay, so that is the last of the comments, man. Let me know what you guys think about all this. I think that this situation is extremely interesting. Where do DBG's viewers go? You know, as far as their opinions with everything, is he going to be able to sway some people? It's kind of looking like it's about half and half right now. Where are the opinions of other creators going to go? We also have Carlo kind of turning to the negative side, which is kind of, I mean, that's burnout, bro. He's been on this game 18 hours a day since it started. That's complete burnout. But anyway, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, man. Leave a like on the video. We are about to take off and get on out of here, but I appreciate you guys tuning in so much, and I will see you guys in the next vid.